Hi guys, Rafael Marcolino here, and welcome to Drum Sapiens every week with a new drum lesson for you. Today I'm going to show you how you can take a groove that you already play, that you already use in your songs or in your style of playing, and how you can turn that groove into a linear groove. Of course, how you can turn a non-linear groove into a linear groove. So I'm going to show you kind of a basic groove, playing eighth notes on the hi-hat, and how you can keep the same kick drum and snare pattern and transform that into a 16th note linear groove. That's the example I'm going to use. Of course, you can probably use that same strategy with other subdivisions, but in this lesson, I'm going to use a 16th note linear groove as an example. So first, I'm going to play the groove that we are going to turn into a linear groove. So as I said, I'm going to play eighth notes on the hi-hat or on the ride cymbal. Then I'm going to play a kick drum on beat 1, then a kick drum between the end of 1 and beat 2, the first backbeat on beat 2, then another kick drum between the end of 2 and 3. Then on beat 3, I'm going to play two kick drums in a row in 16th notes between the 3 and the end of 3, and the second one on the end of 3. And then on beat 4, I'm going to play the second backbeat and another snare hit between the end of 4 and the next 1. So check out how this groove sounds, and then I'm going to show you how we can transform that into a 16th note linear groove. So before I show you how you can transform that non-linear groove into a linear groove, I'm going to explain what a linear groove is, because some of you might not know exactly what I mean with linear. So a linear groove is when you play a groove and you don't play more than one limb at a time. So if you're playing the kick drum, it's only the kick drum. If you're playing the snare drum, it's only the snare drum. If you're playing the hi-hat or anything else, it's just that piece. It's just that limb. So we create a sequence of each limb playing by itself, playing alone. So we're going to keep the same kick drum and snare pattern, and we are going to complete the holes. We're going to fill the holes with hi-hat notes. So we're going to think of every 16th note inside this measure, and if we are not playing a kick drum or a snare drum, we're going to play a hi-hat to fulfill that space. So on beat 1, we have a kick drum on the downbeat and another kick drum between the end of 1 and beat 2. So we have two holes, two 16th notes that we are not playing anything in the middle of these two kick drum notes that we are playing. So we're going to fill those two notes with the hi-hat. So with the four 16th notes of beat 1, we're going to play kick, hi-hat, hi-hat, kick. For beat 2, we're going to play snare drum, hi-hat, hi-hat, kick drum. For beat 3, we're going to play hi-hat, kick drum, hi-hat. And for beat 4, we're going to play snare drum, hi-hat, hi-hat, snare drum. If you are not used to playing those linear patterns, I strongly recommend that after writing down the sequence that you're going to play or figuring out the sequence that you're going to play, you try it really slowly at first. After getting used to the pattern, you can try to speed it up a little bit to sound more like a groove. And a cool thing about playing linear is that you can easily change the orchestration that you're playing. I'm not gonna change it a lot, but I'm gonna show you two different examples that I like to explore in this style of playing. So now I'm gonna play the right cymbal instead of the hi-hat, but I'm not gonna play every note the same way on the right cymbal. Every time that I have two notes in a row with my right hand, I'm gonna play the middle of the right cymbal and the bell of the right cymbal. So that creates an effect of kind of accenting the second note when I play two notes in a row with the same hand. And when I'm playing just one note with the right hand, I'm gonna play straight to the right bell. So on beats 1, 2, and 4, we have two notes in a row. So we're gonna play the middle of the right cymbal and the bell. And on beat 3, we have two notes that we play one at a time with our right hand. Then I'm gonna play those two notes on the downbeat of 3 and between the end of 3 and beat 4, straight to the right bell. So check out how this application sounds. And as a last orchestration example, I really like to use the cowbell on these kinds of grooves. So now I'm gonna play the cowbell with my right hand, but I'm also gonna play the pulse with my left foot on the hi-hat. And technically that makes my groove not linear anymore because I'm gonna play the hi-hat together with other instruments, with other limbs. But that's kind of another step that you can take when transforming that groove in this way that I'm showing you. When I'm playing the cowbell, I kind of miss the sound, this really high-pitched sound of the cymbals, so I like to use my left foot to keep the pulse with the hi-hat to create an extra texture to this groove. And that makes it harder in terms of coordination, and if you want to try that, I advise you to try it really slowly again and try to understand which notes are going to be played together with the left foot before you try to really play it. So now I'm going to show you the same idea, but playing the cowbell with my right hand and playing the pulse with my left foot. Check it out. And just for you to compare the original groove with the linear groove that we created from that, now I'm gonna play 4 bars of the original groove alternating with 4 bars of the linear groove for you to understand the difference and for you to get inspired to maybe use this strategy in a musical way. Sometimes we wanna keep the same groove in a song context, but it's cool to create some change into that. So maybe that groove variation can be just transforming it from non-linear to linear or vice versa. You should really try that in a song section and see how it sounds. So now alternating the original groove with the linear groove in a faster tempo, check it out. I hope you liked this lesson. If you want to receive every week a new drum lesson with PDF files containing transcriptions of all the exercises I show here, go to subscribe.drummosapiens.com and subscribe to the mailing list, and I see you on the next lesson.